Happy Saturday and welcome to the Ramashram Satsang Weekend Workshop, where you will learn a modern Satsang method for obtaining peace, light, love in your life. My name is Shivangi and I will be introducing the facilitator for today's event. But first, I'd like to give you a brief overview to this Satsang session. If you'll direct your attention to the screen, you'll see that the first element is Satsang. Satsang is a scientific method whereby we may obtain peace, light, and love in our lives. It requires no physical skill, spiritual accomplishment, or meditation experience to begin this practice. Satsang consists of two words, Sat and Sang. Sat means positive energy, and Sang means to be with or to be in the presence of. Therefore, the word Satsang means to be in the presence of positive energy. The next element is meditation. Meditation is an important part of Satsang. When we meditate, our consciousness is drawn from worldly objects and directed inward to focus on a single thought. In doing so, our minds become calm and our thoughts become pure, leading us to higher states of consciousness such as enlightenment, peace, light, and love. Inner orientation. There are two types of satsangs, inner satsang and outer satsang. An example of outer satsang would be chanting or attending pilgrimages. When we practice outer satsang, we have the potential to change our behavior. But it's only through the practice of inner satsang can we obtain higher states of consciousness such as enlightenment, peace, light, and love. This is the type of satsang we will learn today, where we meditate in silence. Group sessions. These weekend workshops are structured for group participation. When we meditate as a group, our focus is improved and our personal progress along our spiritual path is expedited. By regularly attending these weekend workshops, the benefits of group participation are amplified. Joy and inner happiness. All beings wish to experience joy. Joy is the eternal longing of the soul, but it's only through the practice of inner satsang can we obtain a joyous state. Each time we practice satsang, our inner happiness gradually increases, ultimately culminating in a state of joy that we experience 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Next, the agenda of today's session consists of three parts: the informative session, the practice session, and the interactive session. During the informative session, a lecture or a discussion will occur about a satsang topic, the founder, or some relevant spiritual topic. During the practice session, instructions on how to meditate will be given, followed by a period of practice. During the interactive session, you will have the opportunity to ask questions or there will be a panel discussion. And now, I would like to introduce the facilitator for these events. He has over 40 years of satsang experience. He is the grandson of Guru Maharaj, the founder of Ramashram Satsang Mathura. He was born into a satsang family where he has witnessed his family members obtaining states of enlightenment and living lives of peace, light, and love. At an early age, he began traveling with the mission throughout India, facilitating satsangs. During this time, he witnessed the positive effects that satsang can have on mankind. Upon arriving in the United States, both he and his wife continued to facilitate satsangs for local satsangis. He has led teams of satsang members in translating important satsang literature into English and has worked tirelessly to make satsang more accessible to Western and English speaking audiences. He currently travels throughout the United States, India, and England, facilitating satsangs while maintaining his duties as a husband, a father, and an IT executive. He is currently traveling to India, so we have his daughter, Parul, who will guide us today. Welcome, Parul.
Hi, everyone, and thank you so much for being here on your Saturday. Thank you, Shivangi, for that great intro. And so I'm just going to go into a topic about spirituality, and then we will meditate together. And then at the end, if you have any comments or anything you want to share, you can share that at the end. So today's topic is fulfillment from within, because I found that, on the spiritual path, the more you meditate, the more you realize that, everything on the external is not a reflection of the internal. So your external life can bring chaos, sometimes it can bring peace, sometimes it can bring happiness, sometimes it can bring abundance, but it's not a reflection of how you're feeling internally, right? Because, a celebrity could be having the most amazing time and the most amazing, success, but you'll find that they're depressed. Or, someone who can't find resources, can't find the way to, provide for the life that they're actually wanting. But actually, inside, they might be happy in a weird way. They might be content more than the person who's has everything and can't find happiness anywhere. So, in this practice, part of what we're learning is that the external world is never going to give us internal fulfillment. And that goes for everything. So, no amount of amazing relationships, abundance, and endless amounts of money, or having the perfect family is going to be your ultimate key to inner happiness or finding stillness and peace. And like I said, that goes vice versa too, right? Where you might be, sad and depressed, not finding anything. Or you might be someone who has, not a lot of resources, but you've found a really fulfilling life. So I feel that, the external world can bring so many different changes all the time. Everything's constantly changing. So when we look outside of ourselves for that peace, it can kind of bring a detriment internally that we gave that power away. And that's because we can't rely on our parents, our significant others, or our families and friends to bring us happiness. They might be a part of our happiness, but they're also individuals here to carry out their own soul journeys. And sometimes it might be in partnership with you, but regardless, they should never be held responsible for fulfilling something within you. Codependency stems from allowing ourselves to give parts of ourselves away to other people, places, and things, thinking that they can handle making us happy, or they might be a part of what helps us find peace and joy. But again and again, what you will find is that when you give your power away like that, it will always lead you back to yourself, because we have to master how to find love and peace within ourselves over the course of our lives, and from that place, pour into our relationships, pour into our jobs, pour into our lives and our hobbies. So, this is also why, a millionaire might come into a surplus of money one year, but then they might lose it all in the next year. And that's because our soul is teaching us how to handle highs and lows in life, no matter, what kind of experiences you're having. So, it's not about relying on our external success or failures to give us a sense of security. It's about creating so much strength within that nothing can rock you or shake you at your core. So we will find fulfillment not from a broken place, not from a place of codependency, and not from a place where something feels missing, but from a place of wholeness and love. And that is cultivated over time by filling our own hearts with love, but also by accepting where we're at in life, forgiving those who have hurt us, even those closest to us, accepting that not everyone has to understand us, agree with us, or be there for us in exactly how we envision, but still extending our love to them as well, even if it's from a distance. So, most importantly, we have to accept our own flaws and shortcomings and know that those things can also change at any time. We can grow and change at any time. At any time, we can choose to come back to ourselves, to shape ourselves into better human beings, role models for our families and workplaces, and to focus on our soul growth by bringing our attention back to ourselves, back to our internal state. And that is how we can grow and find happiness within, and less by, and focusing less on other people and things and how they can fulfill a part of our story, but then by kind of flipping the switch and bringing it back to ourselves and how we can find stillness, strength, and peace and happiness and joy within ourselves, and not by focusing on how someone else can bring it, how this job can bring it, how my family can bring it, how, it's not other people bringing it to you. It's you feeling a fulfillment within yourself no matter what's happening in your life. So take your power back, keep coming back to the present moment to find everything that you've been looking for, seeking for. It's all within this moment. So that is what we're going to practice today. And let's get into our meditation. And then at the end, feel free to come on, say hi. And if you have any comments, we can talk about it then. Today, we are going to practice inner yoga, which is bringing our attention inwards and spending some time in silence. So, we are going to have music playing that brings us into a meditation. In that meditation, you want to visualize a bright, beautiful light, white or golden light, in front of you, and see that light coming into your heart space and immersing your entire being in this light, from your head to your toe, all the way into your energy field, like 5 feet out from every area. And then we will go into a silent meditation where if you feel that your focus is going off, your thoughts are, the monkey mind is going off, then come back to your heart, come back to the light, and restart the silent meditation. Even one moment of peace is a great accomplishment within, this kind of meditation. So don't put too much pressure on it, but keep coming back to your heart and the light, and then sitting in the silence and allowing that silence to expand your consciousness. And then there will be music that plays again once the meditation is ending. And this is a good time to, move your fingers, move your toes, come out of the meditation. And then we will have a Q&A session, or, just chatting and saying hi. So that is what we're going to do. The music will start soon, and then we will go into our silent meditation. Thank you everyone for being here on your Saturday. And if you want to come on now and say hi, or if you have a comment, or if you're new here, just feel free to introduce yourself and come on. And I hope the meditation was great.
Namaste, Didi.
Hello, how are you?
Fine, how are you?
I'm doing good. What's up?
Didi, I want to ask that isn't it difficult to not to relate our external life with internal life? Like, what's going in our external life will impact our internal. No? Like, we are the human, our mind goes like that only.
Yeah, so that was like the whole topic, right? Which is that we keep looking externally for fulfillment internally. So we're looking for something outside to bring us peace or happiness or, a feeling of security and all these things. But then when we get that, sometimes we don't have that. And that's what the whole topic is that fulfillment is something you build internally over time rather than letting the external keep, you know, bouncing back. But of course,
Yeah,
like it's gonna have an effect. So that's what, in satsang we're practicing that inside is more important than what's happening outside. Otherwise, you'll always be on like a roller coaster. That
yeah, Didi.
something went well today, something didn't go well today. I, achieved this success today, that the success is lost tomorrow, and these things will keep happening. So to find fulfillment inside is what the whole topic is.
Yeah,
But it's natural that we obviously want, you know, a relationship with somebody to make us happy, or a new job to make us happy, or a certain amount of money to make us happy. So when you shift it and you just try to find happiness and peace anyways, no matter what's happening, then that's a big shift.
yeah. And it's too hard also.
Yeah, I mean, it takes time, and then sometimes you feel it, and then sometimes it goes away. And then that's with the spiritual stuff too, like even in your spiritual life, sometimes there's going to be times where you feel very connected, and then sometimes you don't feel very connected and you have to just keep meditating anyways. But
Yeah,
ultimately the end goal is obviously that we feel like peace and happiness inside most of the time, because we keep meditating and we keep knowing that what's happening inside is more important.
yeah.
Yeah, did that help?
I have a question.
Yeah, hi.
I I don't know, can you see me?
Yeah, hi. Thanks for joining.
I've just recently started meditating a couple months ago. How do I know I'm doing it right? So, like, am I supposed to just clear my mind of all thoughts, or am I supposed to just let the thoughts flow without holding on to any of them?
So my dad, he's usually here and he's been in India, so I'm covering for him. But what he says is that like we have a monkey mind, right? So the monkey mind is going to go off, especially as soon as you close your eyes. And the subconscious mind is like it's having a great time. It's showing you all these things that you've been thinking about, that you're planning for. All these things are happening, right? So, what we want to do is kind of like go into meditation, go into silence, see what's coming up, and then
Mm.
detach a little bit. So, it's almost like it's like a river flowing. So,
Okay.
people might have said, you might have heard this before, where it's like a movie where it's just kind of playing. So, it's like,
Mm.
okay, like this relationship with this person is coming up. Okay, let me let it, drift off. The next one's going to come up. Let me let it drift off. And then also once you become aware of that, because also meditation, sometimes it's just going off and we're like, okay, next, next, next. But then when you become aware, oh my gosh, I'm thinking these things, come back to the heart, come back to the light.
Mm.
So that's what we practice in this meditation, where other ones will be like, come back to your breath, come back to something else. We're practicing that you want to come back to your heart. Also, like a lot of like pressure and energy can come into like your third eye. We don't want to do that here, because those kind of powers and stuff that, come up along the path, like it can kind of distract you sometimes. Like you might be more intuitive or become a psychic or whatever it is. We want to focus on the heart so that we reach the ultimate state of enlightenment rather than like getting caught up in like we had this happen and that happened. So especially like in this practice, sometimes people won't feel that their powers are increasing and stuff, and that's for a reason because we want to get to that end goal of enlightenment.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then like for that makes sense. But like for like creating fulfillment within ourselves and that creating that inner peace and creating that satisfaction with life, like no matter what is happening around us, obviously like we're still going to have good and bad days, we're still going to have ups and downs. So how do we like as I create that, can I still have the freedom to like find joy and like let's say some like I had a really good day, like can I still be like, oh my gosh, that made me so happy and like allow myself to find happiness from those things, but also like is the point to like just be kind of detached from feeling like that's where my source of happiness is?
Yeah, it was the last part. So basically, obviously, if we're having a great time, if we have a new relationship and it's like we're over the moon, like go enjoy that fully, right? But don't put your happiness in that because that can change. You know what
Okay.
I mean? Like it's not like I found this new job and now this is my source of happiness. Like
Yeah.
you don't want to do that where it's like we're going to have events that happen that are going to have us over the moon. And that's with our spirituality too, where like there's going to be days where we're like, "Oh my gosh. Whoa, bliss, happiness, peace." And then we're going to like really go down and then be like, "Oh my gosh, exact opposite." So we want to like when it comes to our peace, we want it to be inside more than outside.
So that we can kind of weather those storms and find a stability throughout the roller coaster.
Yeah, exactly. Like we want to still live our lives fully, where it's like, this is amazing. I'm having an amazing time. My business is popping off, whatever it is, right? So, but we don't want to like think that that's going to give us like the lasting peace or the lasting happiness. Like I'm here to enjoy whatever's happening in front of me in the present moment. But if that next moment brings something totally different, I'm not like completely rocked off the boat, you know?
Yeah. Mhm.
So that's like just what we're also like learning here. And it takes time, obviously. Like we're not gonna just wake up tomorrow and be like at a neutral place all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, especially when like hard times come into our life, it's we really want to practice that even more where it's like, okay, can I find happiness? Can I find peace today? So but have it be internal.
Mhm.
And I've also just noticed like sometimes when we put too much on the external, like, you know, someone's spouse being their source of happiness, someone's money being their source of happiness, it's just these things will always change. And also, that's too much of a responsibility for that other thing to keep bringing you happiness.
That reminds me so much of something that I saw like in a daydream, I guess maybe my third eye or whatever. I was like it like up in the sky and like there's like clouds, you can't see much, but I was like holding on to all this stuff, but it was all an illusion. Like it literally just vanished and I just started falling from the sky and I was like on my way to hit the ground. But then now, as I was meditating, it was like, oh, I was being held by like unconditional love and like holding on to like what like love, peace, joy, holding on to that. And so then when everything else kind of disappeared and that illusion faded, I was okay.
Yeah, 100%. That's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I mean, that's like going into the heart.
Yeah.
So, like, when you, like what you just said, like your third eye showed you that everything's an illusion, right? But then when you go to the heart, it's like, oh, but there's still love. There's still like what's important.
Mhm.
So, yeah, that's why like meditating can be really interesting on your own because so many people say like focus on your third eye, focus on opening this stuff up, and then it's like you'll see the illusion but you don't know what to do with it, you
Mhm.
know. So that's why like the heart is really important because it's like an anchor point between like the spiritual world and our actual world.
Mhm.
Like it keeps us grounded here, but it's also like allowing us to expand our consciousness and expand our love and the energy we're putting out and staying in positivity and all these kind of things.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's important to kind of take that like walk down from the third eye to the heart.
Yeah.
It's like it shifts everything. So yeah, thanks for coming on though.
Yeah, thank you so much.
It's always good to see new faces. And thanks for sharing. That was amazing.
Yeah, of course. I always have questions.
Oh my gosh, same too. If anyone else wants to come on and say hi.
Hi, Paro.
Hello, how are you?
Good morning.
Good
I'm
morning.
good. I'm good.
What's going on?
I just wanted to share my experience today with this meditation. The first half was very tumultuous. Lots of monkey mind coming on board. But today I feel like I actually had a plot twist at the end where I was kind of judged. I noticed I do this a lot, and maybe this is I mean, this is probably common, but we kind of tend to judge our own thoughts. We kind of judge our process of not concentrating, or the fact that our mind is running everywhere, and then I get sort of bogged down in the whole process of how I didn't focus, or how, oh my gosh, why am I thinking about this right now, or why is this coming up? And then your mind starts flowing with the emotions of what you're thinking about. But I try to sort of just get to a place of acceptance and be like, you know what, these thoughts are coming. Let me just kind of sit back and let them come, and and just observe them. And I've heard this before, but like it's obviously harder to do um than just talk about. But this time I really was like, you know what, let me just let them come and watch them, instead of go with the story and follow the emotions that are coming up. I'll just sit back and let them come. And as soon as I did that, I kind of had more peace. They were less like prominent. They were not controlling me as much as I was controlling them, just because I was able to put myself in the role of the observer. And just that little bit of distance just led to more like more clarity, more state of quiet.
Yeah,
And it was really
100%.
nice. Yeah.
I think, yeah, like letting it flow out sometimes is more necessary than, because we also say like come back to the heart, like when you're conscious of it. But I think we have to like detach and then see it, let it
Mm-hmm.
flow out, and
Yeah.
then come back to the heart,
Yeah.
because it's like it's more,
Mm-hmm.
it's just going to keep lingering and it's going to be there until you're like ready to let it go. So, I mean, yeah, it's crazy because like emotions come up, thoughts will come up, you're seeing things, it's like memories will even come up. So we have to kind of like,
Yeah.
I feel like it is also coming up for a reason to let it go.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
So,
Definitely. I think I used to judge that too. I was like that's not a bad thing that those things are coming up. It's obviously you're trying to tell yourself what's on your mind. It's just a reminder of like how you need
yeah.
to check in with yourself a bit more, because if all of these things are coming up, if your monkey mind is that controlling, it means that clearly like in life you're probably feeling a bit all over the place,
Oh,
and it's just
100%.
it's a good like check-in to
It's a
just be
great
aware.
check-in. I think
Yeah.
honestly, like what you're saying right now is even more important for like the 10 minutes a day because we want to be doing this like as much as we can, like right in the morning, right before we sleep, because you get that opportunity to be like, okay, what happened today? You know? Especially
Yeah.
in the evening, because you get to like really
Yeah.
like go over some things before you sleep. And the mind and the body
Right.
and the soul is
Yeah.
going through so much healing when we sleep. So if you can just like cleanse some stuff right before then, it's even more important like on that day to day to like do that because you never know, like even in the morning, like just clearing that out and starting your day, like wow, that's a totally different day. So,
Totally. Yeah.
and also like, monkey mind, it's kind of like thoughts that have attached to your energy.
Mm-hmm.
So when we go into meditation, we get this chance to like take it from here and go there, where it's like, okay, now it's in my energy field. Let me like see what's coming up. Let me let it go. And then you can like, start going into an actual silent meditation where you're going like
Yeah.
beyond your thoughts.
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, there's going
Well
to be days where
said.
it's more thoughts and more days where it's more like, okay, somehow I had some peace today and I'm going beyond
Mhm.
this, so
Yeah.
yeah, that was a really good point to like let it go first.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Parlon.
Anyone else want to share or come on? It's good to see you guys. Thanks for coming on Saturdays.
Just want to say happy Saturday as usual. It's wonderful to meditate with you all. I'm recovering from the flu, so I don't want to
Oh
chat
my
too
goodness.
much. Yeah, it was bad this time. And
Oh my
also
God.
I've been actually suffering a little bit because my mom's in the hospital. So she's very sick. So it's been multiple things have been going on, but so this is always very healing. It's a beautiful reset every single week. And your your topic of discussion today was really a great reminder of how to focus on the right things. Also, I think Ashita, I liked, the way you approach meditation, right? And the thoughts that sort of bubble up, just letting them go, or like creating distance between yourself and the thoughts. That's also probably a good way to just manage life too, not just the thoughts, but like the things that are happening in life. Like, if they happen to be particularly stressful, it's just to take a step back, use the same approach, take a step back and kind of just let go and focus on the heart, even in like life, so
100%.
yeah, this was a really good conversation.
Oh my gosh. Well, thanks for being here, and I hope you feel better soon, and I hope your mom's going to be okay. Sending her a lot of love.
Thank you.
And sending you love because I know you're going to be there for her.
Yes, thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you. You're always here on Saturday, so thank you for being here all the time, even when you're sick. Oh
Happy
my
to
God.
be here.
But yeah, I mean, I always say stuff like this, but even meditation, like it's healing us, mind, body, and soul. So perfect time to be here. Thank you. Anyone else want to come on and share or say hi? Lots of familiar faces here too.
Happy Saturday to you, Parul, and
Hello.
everyone. It was a great session. Thank you.
Thank you. So good to see you. I've been seeing you every Saturday too. Thanks for coming on. And anyone else want to quickly say hi? Our regular people.
I'll just say hi. Thank you
Hello.
for leading again today. And it was interesting to listen to everything everybody had to say. I think just if we can, at the end of the day, for our emotional health, focus on something that brought us joy every day.
Mm-hmm.
We're all going to go through things that stress us or tax us or cause us pain, but at the end of the day, we have that. Our mind is so powerful. So if we can
Yeah,
just come back to
100%.
that place, and I think after one of the sessions here a couple weeks ago, I went back to this Herman Hesse book, Siddhartha, And there's a quote in there: within you, there's a stillness and a sanctuary to which you can retreat at any time. So I
Yeah,
think we
I
just
love that.
have to go to that place. So
Yeah, and it's really just about, especially in these days where we have our TVs, our phones, our laptops, our work, I think it's just like to actually sit in the silence and then you realize, like, oh, wow, I've been ignoring so much. I've been, all these things, and it comes up. And when that fades away, you're like, I'm back to myself, my core, my peace.
and I liked what you said about codependence too. I think we're always looking forward to this weekend. What's going to be fun, instead of just being in the present and in the moment. And there's almost something to, if you can find joy when things are miserable around you, like if
Oh,
you think
yeah.
something's going to be wonderful and it really isn't, still being able to find joy in that moment. That there's something to that too.
Yeah, I think so too. And also, I don't know, as you were saying that, I was just kind of picturing like the person who grows older and they're still full of joy and they're like such a, you know, light to be around. I don't know if you guys have experienced that, but I'm just like, wow, I don't know what that person did, but I want to do that, where I'm sure they've been through so much, but they're still here with like a big smile on their face and positivity and great stories to tell. So,
And it's good to gather in this group too, because there is, I have a sense, just so many good people. And when you surround yourself with good people,
yeah,
all of us know more than any one of us, and it rubs off.
it does. It really does. And like to have people with like-minded, ideas of being positive and trying to be in the energy of something better, I think it makes a huge difference. And I've also noticed that too, like being in this community.
Absolutely.
Thank
It's a
you.
wonderful session. I'll shut up now.
Thank you. No, I love it. Thank you for coming on. I love when everybody's coming on. Yeah. Well, thank you guys for coming on your Saturday. And to everyone who is new, thank you so much for joining. I hope you can come every week. We join on Tuesdays and Saturdays. I'm hosting for now. My dad will be back in a week or two. But yeah, it's been so great. I love seeing you guys, especially every Saturday. So thanks for coming and happy Saturday.
Thank you, Parul.
Thank you.